Hi, UnlockGrowth here. Have you ever wondered what a TFSA is and how to use it most effectively? In this video, I will show you exactly what a TFSA is, why it's a great tool for Canadian investors, and how to get the most value from your TFSA. Now to start off, let's say Steve puts $1,000 in the bank. He puts that money into a regular investment account and buys a stock with it. If it grows 10% in a year and Steve sells his stock, he has made $100. However, that profit is not all going to Steve. Instead, some of it goes to the government in the form of a tax. This is called the capital gains tax. And this is where the TFSA comes in. The TFSA, or Tax-Free Savings Account, is a program that was started by the Canadian government as a way to help Canadians save money. If that $1,000 was in a TFSA account, none of the investments will be taxed, so Steve would get the whole amount. This way, Steve gets all of his $1,100. Over time, this really adds up. Let's take a look at Sophia and Irene. They both save and puts $5,500 a year into their bank account. Sophia puts her savings into a regular investment account, whereas Irene decides to put the money into her TFSA. Now what happens? After 10 years, Sophia's savings would have grown to $64,000. However, Irene's money would have grown to $74,000. Just simply putting the money into a TFSA grew Irene's wealth by $10,000. You can see how much of a difference this makes. This example is based on just a 4% annual growth. For more information, check the link in the description below. So how do you make the most out of your TFSA? Make sure you use it. A great way to save is to set up a pre-authorized transfer service if your bank has it. That way, your bank will automatically put a portion of your paycheck into the account every month so you don't forget to use it. Now bear in mind, there is a max cap for the money you put into your TFSA. You cannot put your whole savings into it, and each person has a different cap depending on how old you are. The government gives contribution room to the TFSA each year, usually around $5,000 to $6,000, though that can change at any time. The program was started in 2009, so if you were 18 years old or older in 2009, your max contribution room as of 2019 is $63,500. If you were younger than 18 in 2009, your contribution room will be different. Check in the description below for calculating your contribution room from the Canadian Revenue Agency yourself. Now a question you may ask is, what if I take money out of my TFSA? Since there is a cap, if I take money out, will the contribution room be lost? The quick answer is that you will never lose the room, but you have to wait until the next year to recontribute. To make things clear, let's imagine Joe. Joe's cap limit is $10,000. Joe is pumped to start investing and puts $8,000 into his TFSA in January. Since his cap is at $10,000, he can only put $2,000 more before he reaches his limit. But in June, his car breaks down and needs money for repairs, so he has to take out $3,000 from his savings. Now there's only $5,000 in the TFSA, but the contribution room doesn't reset till next year, so from June to December, he can still only put in $2,000. Once a new year has begun, Joe has the $3,000 added back to his room. So now, Joe will have $5,000 in contribution room, along with the room given by the government for the new year. Now that you have money in the account, how do you make the most of it to effectively grow your wealth? Make sure you invest it. Don't just put the money into savings. The money will not grow, so you will not be taking advantage of the tax-free rules. Instead, invest the money and watch it grow over time. What to invest in is all depending on your risk tolerance. You can choose from all sorts of assets, from guaranteed income certificates, GICs, to mutual funds, exchange-traded funds, or even stocks. Now one thing to take note is investing in high-risk assets. Remember that you have a fixed contribution room, regardless of whether your assets go up or down. Let's say you invested $5,000. If it goes up $2,500, great, you have a 50% return on investment. But if it decreases to $2,500, you won't be able to make a claim for the loss and won't be able to get the contribution room back. The TFSA should be used for long-term investments and steady growth. So remember, be sure to take advantage of the tax-free savings account. It's a great tool for investing and increasing your wealth. A great way to save is to set up a pre-authorized transfer service so you don't forget to use your TFSA. Make sure to watch your contribution room, and lastly, don't use the TFSA as a savings account and instead invest your money to see your wealth grow. Thanks for watching.